What's happening in Myanmar right now is absolutely fascinating. Min Aung Hlaing, the man who's been pulling the strings behind Myanmar's military for 15 years, just officially became president. And here's the thing, he didn't just stumble into this position. He strategically stepped down as military chief on March 30th to clear the path for his presidential run. But here's a twist. He didn't actually give up any real power. He just appointed his loyal guy to run the military, while he keeps calling all the shots. This guy, Yin Yu. He's basically a puppet. So what did this whole song and dance accomplish? Officially, it transforms Myanmar from a military junta into what looks like a civilian government. That matters because for the past 5 years, Myanmar has been drowning in civil war. Almost 4 million people have been displaced. The economy being hammered by international sanctions. If they kept waving the military flag, nobody in the world would take them seriously. Now at least they get some international legitimacy. But here's the uncomfortable truth. This president is basically powerless over half his own country. The Kokang region, controlled by the Myanmar National Democratic Alliance Army. War State, run by the United War State Army. Rakhine State, that's the Arakan Army's territory. These ethnic armed groups have been running their own show for decades, building their own armies, collecting their own taxes. The Myanmar military has been fighting them for 50 years and never won. So, Min Aung Hlaing might be president, but he can only really control maybe less than half of Myanmar's territory. He's essentially the president of southern Myanmar. Now, despite all this, China's been remarkably diplomatic. When Min Aung Hlaing won the presidency, Beijing sent congratulations almost immediately. The message was clear. China sees Myanmar as a traditional friendly neighbor and a community with a shared future. That's pretty significant diplomatic gesture. And here's why China has reasons to be optimistic about this relationship. Myanmar has actually been pretty cooperative on some major projects. First, they've fully integrated into China's RMB settlement system. Back in 2019, Myanmar added the yuan as an official settlement currency. Then, in 2025, Min Aung Hlaing's government went even further. Chinese investors can now use RMB for direct investment in Myanmar. This means less dependency on the US dollar, which saves money on currency conversions and reduces exposure to dollar volatility. Second, the China-Myanmar Railway is finally moving forward. This is a massive project connecting Kunming in Yunnan province straight to Kyaukphyu port on the Indian Ocean. The two sides have been negotiating for over a decade, and plans have been revised countless times. Now the section from Muse to Mandalay has had its feasibility study approved. The Mandalay to Kyaukphyu section is continuing with survey work. This railway is basically a done deal, just waiting for the right moment to break ground. Once it's finished, Chinese goods can flow directly from the southwestern heartland to the Indian Ocean, completely bypassing the Malacca Strait. For Myanmar, this translates into real economic benefits, toll revenue, plus over 100,000 jobs. But the crown jewel is definitely Kyaukphyu Port. This port is where the China-Myanmar oil and gas pipeline starts. China can import oil from the Middle East and send it through pipelines directly to Yunnan, completely avoiding the Malacca Strait bottleneck. The total investment here is a staggering $7.3 billion. If this project keeps advancing, Myanmar becomes China's western gateway for energy security. Now, with the Myanmar civil war calming down and Min Aung Hlaing settling into his new role, Myanmar is entering a relatively stable period. If Min Aung Hlaing plays his cards right and expands cooperation with China, Myanmar has a real chance to follow in Laos's footsteps, riding China's economic express train to development. As long as he stays committed to this partnership, the Myanmar people might just get the better future they desperately need.